Hey guys, welcome back to the final part of my Freddy's build. Today I'm going to be doing the redstone side of things. Right, this is just a simple diagram of how all the redstone will work when I've actually built it. I'm going to go through each little section with you one by one. Now, this is a simplified version because the actual final product is going to be much more complicated, but this is just simple enough for me to show you how it works. So, here we've got the two doors, and the two levers are the door controls. Pistons show, the pistons and the stone blocks block the signal when it's activated, which is useful for when you're trying to stop the doors from opening or closing, and also helps when you only want a single impulse on your redstone circuit rather than a constant signal. So when the door is opened, these two redstone repeaters make sure that the signal can't open both doors at the same time, so it prevents the signal from backflowing. This delayed repeater here sends a signal to this piston here, which turns off the signal after a certain amount of time, so I can get an impulse rather than a full-on signal. The blue block just is representing a connection between 2 points, because it would make it more complicated if I were to connect this point to that point and try to work it all out and all that. So anyway, that's it. That blue block gets a pulse from the doors. So whenever each door is opened, it'll send a signal to the blue block. The blue block is connected to this dropper here, which sends a small piece of redstone into the hopper. Now, when the hopper is full, this redstone comparator will turn on, and there's a piece of redstone in one of these hoppers here which bounces back and forth depending on which of these comparators is active. Currently this one is, so that one is active. When this one is active, the redstone will switch to this hopper and will activate this comparator, which should turn off this torch, but only when this dropper is completely empty. So, there are currently 3 pieces of redstone in there, so if I press this button 3 times, the torch turns off and the signal is activated. And as you can hear, a little tune is playing over there. Now, when the signal is sent, it sends it to this T flip-flop here, which will flip the signal on and off when this is on. And when that is on, it'll send a signal all the way over here, which will activate these 2 pistons, which will disable the signal to the doors. Meaning from this point on, you can't open or close the doors. I'm also going to link this up to our light system so that you can't turn on the lights in the office as well. But I've left that out of the diagram due to how complicated it would be, and considering I'm showing you how it's working with the doors, it's kind of redundant me having to show you how the lights work as well. Also, the signal is also sent over here to the note blocks. Now, this note block song I took from one of my earlier videos, which is a note block song by the Living Tombstone, which I will link in the description. I've just taken the intro part of it. Okay, over here, backward to the flip-flop, I realised that if you were to play this on a multiplayer server or something like that, and you were playing it as a game, you want to be able to reset it somehow. And because the doors are turned off, you can't reset it. And if you were to play it through without the doors being active, it will would just turn it on and it will turn all the system off again, so it won't work the second time around you play it. So, somewhere in the restaurant I'm going to have to put a button which will reset the whole system. When I reset it, it will flip the switch, and it should also toggle all the stuff in the hopper to reset. So if I press the button, hold on, I can't reach it. The toggle is now switched, and all the redstones return to its correct positions. Also, similar than earlier, I've put this piston here so it sends only a single signal, because I found a small glitch in this design where if you send a constant signal, it will actually create kind of like a what's it called? One of those redstone pulse generator thingies where it'll rapidly flash on and off from this point, which will cause haywire in the rest of the system. Anyway, that is basically how the whole thing works. Now, here's the time lapse of me installing it into the existing build, and at the very end I'm going to show you how it'll look in the when you actually start playing it for real. Okay, so enjoy. Okay, so all the redstone has now been completed. Now I'm going to show you how it works. First of all the lighting and the front door is now powered by a daylight sensor. So when it's day, the lights are on and the door is open. When it gets to night time, all the lights come off and the door shuts. Inside the main office, this light always remains on as long as there's power in the building. And the only way to turn the power off is by using the door control a certain amount of times, but that is unknown when you start playing the game. The lights use less power than the door in the actual game, and due to how complicated it would be to set it all up, you can use the light an infinite amount of times and it will not turn off the power. It's only the door controls which turns off the power. And you can only use each door a certain amount of times before all the power goes off. So, I'm going to set time it to night so we can have a look at what this place looks like in the dark. So, time set. Okay, now all the power has gone off in the building, the front door is now locked, and the power on is only in the office. First of all, the light controls. When you press the button on the light appears in the hall. Shut the door shuts, and the power goes off, and the jingle plays. Which I think is a nice little touch to this game. I'm going to put the lever back up because otherwise I'm never going to be able to get back in the office. To turn the power back on again, if you were to fail your game or you just want all the power to reset before you play the next game, you just come into the office and you flip the chest here, like that, and then the light comes on back on in the office. Alright, that's just about it. I will leave a link in the description to this map when I eventually upload it. And stay tuned for any further maps that I happen to do in Minecraft. The next one, I hope to do the one from the second game. Or whatever you want me to do next. Okay then. If you like this, please give it a like, and I will see